Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussions.
Kev, did you manage to get back into football this weekend? I know you said last week you were a little disconnected.
You know what? All I needed was that fucking Monday night game.
Detroit?
Yeah, that's all I needed.
I took him getting 5.5.
I mean, fuck, man. That was, there's nothing like pro sports.
Mm-hmm.
When your fucking team, man, just 7 sacks, it's just like,
My team is now whoever I have money on. I'm not going to even bother with discussing Dallas, but I went 4-1 this past weekend, and what am I for the season?
I've yet to bet.
I'm 8-3 with my magical spreadsheet. 8-3 currently, and I had a lot of discrepancies this week. I went heavy because when I did it on Tuesday, I do it early before the lines change so much. So when I put everything in on Tuesday, it spit back a bunch of games that I have some discrepancies with Vegas on. So I have 4 this weekend, and we'll see what happens. So
who plays tonight?
Arizona, and I don't have it, so I just have, let me see.
Seattle.
Correct, Arizona and Seattle. And my sheet said it should be a 0.5 point spread, and it's a 1.5, so there's no discrepancy. So I stay out of it. It's how I used to do stocks. I used to look for stocks that were errantly priced by the fickle market for whatever reason, trend, whatever. But when you did the DNA, it didn't quite add up to where it was priced, and then you go for the.
God, if you did that on today's markets, you couldn't trade.
Yeah, no. Well, it'd be tough. Actually, it'd be tougher to find anything that you
trading 200 times their worth.
Yeah. Yeah. So where's Detroit this weekend? They are always
Cleveland, maybe.
Let me see. I didn't. What do you got there, Steve-O? Yeah, Cleveland. It's in Detroit. It looks like the spread is 9.5 in Vegas. But
they'll kill Cleveland.
What am I showing here?
They're not going to. They won't Green Bay it.
I'm showing Detroit should give 10.5, so I'm not going to touch it. It's too close to the line, but it's too close to Vegas. But yeah, it's a big spread. They'll win, but will they cover? We're kind of in a sports book advertiser lull right now. We're kind of in the middle. We had in the past we've had others.
Yeah, we had DraftKings. We've had several. But
yeah, we had one kind of at the start, but we were actually advertising the wrestling event for them. I wish they could have held on a couple of weeks and we could have done some football talk. Much prefer to lay some money on football than WRESTLEPALOOZA or whatever the fuck it was at the time. Kev, I'm glad to hear the penis reduction went well.
Yeah.
I caught that.
It was so funny because I forgot who brought it up on the show last week. They said something about because I had the testing done. So I said, I got to go in and have a procedure done. But I just want to explain the procedure. So I go to the hospital with my wife because it says you have to have somebody drive you home because the process doesn't take very long and they put you out. But they use like propanol, like where when you wake up, you just feel like you slept around.
Propofol, the Michael Jackson gimmick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they use that. So it was weird. I woke up and I had a fucking like a speckled glove on, which I thought that was kind of strange. But
you had some fucking moves though, boy.
Oh. So I go, do the processing, and my cardiologist is he treats me very well, and I get treated very well at this hospital. So I was pretty much like 5 minutes, and I was sitting in a room, and the nurse came in and she went to put the IV line in me, and she tells me to put the gown on. So I'm sitting with like on the side of this hospital bed. So I get up and I go to take my shoes off. She goes, "No, you can leave your shoes on." I said, "Shorts?" She goes, "No, you can leave your shorts on." She goes, "Just take your shirt off." So I just take my T-shirt off and put this thing on, turn around, she ties it in the back. And she says, "Oh shit, I got to shave your chest because we got to put the pad on." So if anybody's ever seen a TENS unit, how it has those pads, this pad was about that big. So they put the pad on my left side of my chest, and they put it behind me on the same side of my back. So they walk me. I'm not kidding. They get me up, and now walk me over across the hall to this glassed-in room where they're going to do the procedure. So now I've probably been in the hospital a total of 15 minutes. I walk across with my shoes on and sit up on the procedure gurney, whatever you want to call it, with my shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
And the anesthetist comes in, and she's got this big smile on her face. I'm like, man, there's nothing I love better than somebody who's going to put me to sleep with a smile on her face. I said, can we go ahead and she goes, "No, you got to talk to the doctor," because I wanted to get something going right away, get some kind of drip going, anything. Like there's nothing better than hospital drugs. So
yeah, it's like free cheating.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's like.
James Comey just got indicted, by the way. I don't know if this
did he?
It just flashed up on my phone, so yeah.
Yeah.
They're going with the case that they, a couple of days ago, said we really are not sure we even have one, but to let go.
Yeah, all that Doge money, they've already went through all that and tenfold. So, I mean, just keep spending money. So, my doctor comes in, shakes my hand, and he says, "Okay." They put the air gimmicks up my thing. It looked like a ball gag in my mouth, but it was just hard plastic, so I didn't chip my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And they put me out, and like once they put the tubes up my nose, Tamara's like, "Okay, I'm gonna be in the waiting room. Like I'm not gonna sit here and watch my husband get shocked." But I think a lot of people had the thought of me getting the clear.
The defibrillator resuscitators. Yeah.
I didn't walk in suffering from a cardiac arrest. I had put it this way. I walked in, and when they put the blood pressure cuff on me, my blood pressure was 106/68, and my pulse was 63.
Mm-hmm.
So not exactly like racing into AFib or anything else. It was just that when you look at the EKG, like because I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't see, I don't, in my cardiologist, it said right there. That nobule little thing right there shouldn't be there. But it's like fucking a pretty long way, and then there's just one that's wrong. So I wake up, he's smiling at me, they're happy. I said, okay, we'll get your wife. And she came in and said, you want something to drink? I said, yeah. I said, and my go-to after surgery drink is always cranberry juice, because I don't ever drink anything like that. So that's like, nice and tart, kind of cleans your mouth out. So I had my cranberry juice, and then they were like, well, you can get up when you feel like it. And I just sat around because I already had my shoes on.
Right.
And she untied the back of my thing. I pulled it off, put my T-shirt on, and was in the car. I think total time until we hit the IHOP was under an hour.
Yeah, I think you said 53 minutes.
Yeah, 53. I mean, it's just and then I get home.
Well, the coverage, Kevin,
I know
it's
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Steve, if you can find some of the more fatalistic predictions.
Well, the one thing said, that Nash, who's been retired now since he was 60 because of ongoing health issues. I'm thinking, ongoing health issues? I had fucking a torn rotator cuff, a torn bicep.
There's okay. Men's Fitness has called it an alarming health update.
Yeah.
Well, you did mention the heart attack, Kev, so I do have to give a break to that headline there, because if that's what that's about.
May have had a heart attack 20 years ago.
Yeah.
May have had fucking chlamydia his sophomore year of college. Like, geez, really? It's like...
Didn't Newsweek have something? And it was, I think Newsweek had something. Okay, that one from Wrestling News is pretty down the middle. That's a pitch down the middle, right? It said something like, okay, Newsweek had your concerning, a concerning health update. But anyway, so in the list of like things you can do wearing sneakers, now you can get an electronic correction on
your heart,
on AFib on your heart, in your Nikes.
And so if you fucking have that $3,000 to $5,000 pair of Jordans that you don't really know what you want to wear them for, it could be that. The cardio version, perfect thing to walk into.
Did Tristan collect like the Air Force One? Like, was he a sneakerhead? No.
But number one, his foot was. We both wore 15s, but his 15s or 16s, but his foot was like Yao Ming. He had a big, thick, wide, fucking. He had big, giant calves.
And anytime I can get an Asian basketball player reference going, it's going to be a good week.
Yao Ming in there.
But I know you had a Jordan collection, right?
I mean, I've got pairs of Jordans, but
you're not I mean, there are people who they're anticipating the, I don't know why.
No, I don't do it. I don't do anything like that. I'm just not that guy.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I thought maybe like when you had to go out on TV, maybe there was a pair of. No. You wanted to wear a certain pair onto Nitro.
Back when I was on Nitro and shit, it was people. You could still go to the mall and buy a pair of sneakers. Now there's no malls.
Hmm.
And then everything is basically counterfeit now. Like 90% of the sneakers people are paying money for are fucking bogus.
China. There's a pair. They teased a pair of Nikes that are the CBGB edition. the word Nike is in the logo of the CBGB awning in downtown New York. Of course, the famous punk club. So I was like, that's the first pair of Air Force Ones that, well, I guess Jordans, not Air Force One's a very specific style, but they're dunks. They're low tops. I said, that I'm going to get, and I haven't seen them out. So if anyone knows, if anyone's got a hookup, let me know if the CBGB
Those are
Nikes.
fine to wear, but if you get any like foot discomfort because you don't have arch support, don't take Tylenol.
No, and maybe just do the arch.
Yeah, don't Tylenol.
And you'll be better, brother. All right, so you're good. Glad you're good. I'll tell you,
good.
like you downplayed. I just want to tell you because I texted you the other day. I'm like, how are you? Is everything? And like you totally downplayed it when we were on the air. But then fucking, I'm on the internet and I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm like, was he fucking working us a little bit? Is it? So that's why today when I was like, how you doing? You're like, all right, this is how I'm doing. And you told the story that you just told to everyone. I was like, all right, so this was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even take my shoes off. Like, that's the procedure I had. I've never had a procedure in a hospital in my life in my tennis shoes before.
There's a lot of shit you can't do in your tennis shoes, but getting your heart fixed is now one of them.
No, you can have that done. So, because you're only going to be in there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's just remarkable what they can do today, Kevin.
Yeah.
You know what? You want to talk about what people can do today, and with electricity and charging and shocking and everything. I am holding in my hand what I want everybody to take note of as the Ridge. You remember we've been talking about the wallets. I got my Ridge right here. We were talking about the wallets for months, but now the Ridge power bank. This has set my home ablaze, particularly with my 12-year-old. What I'm holding here is a wireless charger. It is annoying. There's cords everywhere around my house. There's ones, for the iPad, and my daughter's got the new phone. I'm still rocking the old Lightning one here. So there's a lot of different chargers. They're always being occupied. And it's all different. If you got a Kindle, that's going to be different too, that you can be reading Monkey
You're rocking a
Morales
razor.
on. But now, a rechargeable?
No, the fucking razor phone.
Oh, the razor phone, a little flip action? Yes, of course.
In case you got that Star Trek in you.
How about this? What if I were to tell you a 5-in-1 travel power bank was available for you? Would you pop? Yes, you would. 20 watts of power, charges your phone as fast as it possibly can. You don't have to juggle adapters, look for the wall outlet. I'm holding a magnetic charger. Let's turn this bad boy on. I want to show you exactly how. So I see how much is on my charge. Currently 74% on my gimmick here. This is rechargeable, obviously. So you can just clip on the magnet one. So I have my phone now charging on the magnet. But now also, let's say my daughter wanted to do hers right under here. I have the Lightning and the USB-C right here. On the front, I can plug my USB-C in right there, and I could be charging multiple devices at once. Okay, the newest iPhone just dropped. Make sure you get a power bank. It's actually going to keep it going. Like everything Ridge makes, this is built to last. Okay. Free shipping. It is very substantial. Free shipping, 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty. This is the last power bank, the Ridge power bank, that you're ever going to need. Okay? They look badass. They're available, by the way, in matte olive, base camp orange. I went with just the plain old matte black. All right. I knew an actor named Matt Black, actually. One thing to pack. 5 ways to power. You can find Ridge's power bank at Best Buy, or our listeners can get 10% off by going to ridge.com using the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Just head to ridge.com, use the code KLIQ, and you're all set. After your purchase, you're going to be asked, where you heard about them, and you're going to support our show, and you're going to tell them we sent you. Love
My
it.
wife is very happy we're on that they're on our.
The Ridge?
Yeah.
The Ridge family?
Yeah.
Love the Ridge family.
Because she says, you got something from Ridge. And I said, really? I said, I wasn't expecting it. I said, well, check. I said, if there's a wallet, because I still owe my brother Mark a wallet.
Uh-huh.
And she opened it up. She goes, oh no, it's a power block. And I said, oh really? Because we hadn't talked that they. I know they make a ton of products.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they made that. And then it was commandeered before I ever got.
I was going to say, you didn't get
it.
your damn hands on it, did you?
No, but it's hurricane season, so it goes into the hurricane prepared box, so you have another power source. So
very good. Thank you, Ridge. Thank you, Ridge. And thank you to our many thousands of listeners and viewers every week, like 7 Mile, who said AJ coming back without skipping and the Chuck Taylors would have been a letdown. We, of course, talked about AJ Lee. Kevin suggested maybe she comes back a little different instead of the old thing. But I think people...
Imagine that, though. See, so if you go back in time, the NWO takes off, Hogan drops a leg, and then the next time you see Hulk, he's still in the yellow and red. Does it work as well as the Hollywood? Or do you go with a complete change because now you've got some fucking intrigue? I'm only going by shit that works. Obviously,
right. Not the stuff that doesn't.
Yeah, obviously, when she came down to the ring, that Netflix was the lowest rated Netflix Raw that they've had since they've been on Netflix. So obviously that fucking blew the roof off that skipping down blew the roof off it.
All right. So what about this, though? Because the fans, it's been 10 years, so they have an image in their head. So don't you have to come back like they remembered you and then switch it up? Hogan came out in the red and yellow.
Right, I understand
WCW,
that.
and then did the turn. So now
Hogan wasn't
gone.
Hogan wasn't gone for 10 fucking years.
Correct.
And the reason she's coming down is not to make phony shit wrestling angle. The reason she's come down is because another woman is putting her hands on her husband and he can't do anything about it.
So under the circumstances, maybe is a little different. Okay.
Yeah, if she would have just stormed down and not even said a word, just went right to her and just pummeled the shit out of her. Then if she wants to come out the next week and fucking skip, she can do all she wants. The first time you see her, though, it's like she just showed up because, you know what, man? Like, I'm going to go to the arena with you next week. No, babe, no, fuck that. I'm going. And then the shit goes down, and then she inserts herself. I just think that, and then on top of that, so then you have her still playing the kind of I'm semi-crazy character, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you have Bayley kind of playing the semi-crazy character also. So now we have two mentally unstable women on the same show. That's good. There's no mentally unstable men on the show.
No, the roster's full of them.
No, I'm talking about character.
No, I know. So, okay, so you also, though, right, you want to differentiate. You don't want her to be too much like Becky, right? So you want...
Well, Becky's got red hair. There's not going to be...
I didn't even mean physically. Like, you maybe want the character to be...
Well, Becky's over the top, though. on the way down, I don't think you got AJ going, hey, been a long time since I've been in Chicago. I mean, you can make it real or you can make it fucking bogus wrestling, and there are times when you can take both of those aspects and tie them into one, which they did last night when they went. Last night for me, because that's when I watched the show.
Monday's Raw.
Monday's Raw, and I thought that closing credits, Paul's name, with Rhea sitting there with the kabuki spray on her, and the carnage and everything. I just thought that match was the best match I've seen in 6 weeks.
And they knew what they had to. That was their main event. They closed Raw with it. You talked about the shot. They knew what they were going to serve up.
Yeah, and the thing with me is, you have to, when you have somebody like Rhea that's that special, because Asaka, she's been out there with several different girls and had matches, and some good hands, some great hands, and it just didn't get over. She didn't get over with me, and her matches didn't get over. And I remember when she first kind of hit the scene, I was just like, she was different. And last night was the first time, I'm watching her, those kicks to Rhea. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking to myself, those are fucking solid fucking kicks, man. Mm-hmm. Everything they did was solid.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody like Rhea, you have to protect that character the same way you do Cody.
I was going to ask you about this because we talked a little bit about it. So go ahead.
I just think you got to protect. I mean, the beginning of Raw, Cody comes out. What do you want to talk about? And I'm like, oh, God, I've missed this. I've missed this. Because when it comes down to it right now, on a week-in, week-out basis, he's the best interview in wrestling.
I would agree.
Because John's part-time.
Right.
I think John is in a class by himself. But he's not gimmicky. I think Rollins is good. I think Seth is good on the mic, but I don't need to be reminded that he's the innovator. He's this. He's that. I don't need all the wrestling shit.
That's where I thought that segment, which was a good segment, it felt real, right? Let me feel that I'm watching two cats really talking, and I did, and Cody brought it down. Seth brought it down too, Kev, but he's still Seth Rollins, right? So there's got to be a little bit. It wouldn't have been
not when you're
in character though for him to go all the way down, right?
But that's what makes it special, because he brings up the watch that he's got on it. He's never worn it since Cody gave it to him
in WrestleMania.
And then later on, she goes off on a tangent, and he's just sitting there looking at the watch. I mean, he's not in character. He's not in character there. So if you realize the importance of him not being in character later on in the show, when he's kind of just looking at the watch and contemplating,
it makes it twice as real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if he's already dropped down, now you're like, what is the significance? I don't know. I like I said, I'm 66 years old. I was in the business for 35 years. I'm not their demographic. I know that.
Yeah, but there were certain truths that transcend the generational thing. I always do the same thing. I'm an old school fan, so I want to see this, I want to see that. But there's still some things in wrestling or anything, any art form, that can't change. Sports, too. Look at football. Football doesn't look today like it looked in 1975, but there's still the fundamentals that never change. So while it is, I guess, acceptable to say I'm 66, I'm not their demo, we all feel the same things when we watch wrestling. We're supposed to. If we're going to, back in the day, buy a pay-per-view, in this case, subscribe to ESPN+, if we're going to do that, we have to feel the same thing.
Right.
We have to be intrigued. We have to know that we're going to get bang for our buck. Now, this match, the upcoming match, which is going to be, I think, the 11th, right? October 11th. Someone confirm that for me. With Cody, now you've got the titles. So just
Right.
on a contest standpoint,
Oh, you've
got a hook.
Made.
Yeah, exactly.
Angles made.
They can only make it better with their weeklies, and they've got, would it be two more Raws?
I think they've got at least 2 and then the show, because they've got to go all the way to Perth.
So what happens? Are we gonna see it blown with somebody's gonna get jumped backstage and some fucking break a chair over the head?
I think it's going to be
back to the wrestler shit.
No, I think it's going to. If anything, I think the Vision will attack Cody in the ring, and therefore Adam will have to put a cage around the match.
Oh, so they'll switch it up before the match, and they'll make it a Hell in a Cell or something.
Not a Hell in a Cell, though. I wouldn't go that far, because they had that Hell in a Cell where Cody had the torn pec.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So you don't want to. You don't want to, because that was such a great match. You don't. That's the one beauty of that, is that Seth and Cody are going to give you a 5-star match. Like, that's a give me. And then, so anything, it just, that's the beauty of people say the booking this and the booking, and it's like, no, the booking is you have to look at the booking like you do, like, how many times do you watch a television show, and it's an 8-episode series, and you watch the first episode, you're like, I don't know. You watch the second one, and you kind of start to, by the third one, now you're invested in 1 or 2 of the characters, and you're ready to go with the show. And I think sometimes it takes that, and you've got so much fucking coverage that you have to do with SmackDown, and you're going to this pay-per-view and this primetime live event and this and this and this and this. It was nice to be in Evansville last night. It was nice to be in, like.
Are you doing a Becky promo, or was it nice to be in Evansville?
I enjoyed that. I know. I mean, I've wrestled in Evansville 1,000 times. It was nice to kind of be in mainland. It just, because to me, the WWE is almost become, and I think a lot of people feel this way. I don't feel it like personally, because I know what they're doing, but it's like, well, when does America get it? Like, but by them saying they were going to take the WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia, it's like, and I could see if they just changed up the one coming up and went, oh, by the way, we're not going to Vegas, we're going to Saudi. We got a better deal. They're giving you two fucking WrestleManias to prepare for them to go to Saudi. Like,
well, I know why they did it, and we talked about the money last week, and
of
we
course
covered it. It's business. I get it. It's a global company. We're in Perth this month, or October 11th. It'll be in Australia.
So even if there's 100,000 people that go to WrestleMania, and another 100,000 people go to the city, or 150, 200 to watch shows and to see other things, and that's taken away from the States, it's still the people that are watching it worldwide. You know, and that you've always, it's the World Wrestling Entertainment. The first fucking W is world. It's not USWA. And I just look at it and I say, going to Saudi Arabia to me is huge.
It's huge, and they do it for their. I'm still calling them pay-per-views, but is WrestleMania different?
No, because I guarantee you by the time you get to that WrestleMania will be twice a year.
Right. That's only.
Come on, they've already
only a year and a half
expanded it.
away.
They've already expanded it to 2 days.
Mhm.
That was fucking. You know, people are like, "What? Oh God, 2 days? It's 2 days now." And now they could add a third and they wouldn't bitch. So it's when you're growing. I mean, I heard the TKO's doing a buyback. Have you seen any of that? They're doing a stock
On
buyback.
shares.
Yeah, I saw that they were going to do a buyback. So
You still got yours, right?
I still got mine.
Hey, while we're on Raw, which I watched, what are they doing with LA Knight? I don't think he's. This is legit. He hasn't won a televised singles match in it's almost 2 months now. So when I see him on TV, it's a foregone conclusion what's going to happen. What are they doing? Why bother with? Because they involve him in the angle. It's not just like they're sending a job guy out to get squashed, right? Or they're not rotating people to just put someone over. They're involving him.
They had a solid match.
I know, but they're. It's kind of shitty that they're just using him as a device to consistently lose. He's just a vehicle in this whole angle. Now, we thought maybe there was going to be the Uso thing, right? We thought they would tease in that moment. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Where
I think Jay's still going to turn.
He would almost have to now, right? After the loss last week. To what end is this happening? Are we having the vision keep going over like that? You'd have to be doing something with the Uso brothers, right? There's gonna be a turn, or is it too projected at this point? Is everybody waiting for it now?
Or
then it's pointless.
Or do they go and get the tag belts, the brothers?
Mm-hmm.
And have like a fucking 1.5 year run with the belts to bluster that aspect of the card. I really enjoyed the six whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the match was fine. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about with the Vikings and New Day. And
oh yeah, no, that was a 6-way match.
Yeah, I thought that I liked the Vikings.
I like them because they're different.
Yeah,
I want to see different shit. I want to see everybody looking like
I thought
fucking baseball player.
I enjoyed that match. I enjoyed Monday Night Raw. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed parts of it, but all right. So you, I don't want to get off this. You said tag team run the Usos.
Usos would be good for me because they've kind of that would solidify that with because you've raised both the Usos as single stars now. Then you put them back together.
Does it devalue the single work that you did as a writer or booker?
No, because you can always go back to it.
after the tag run. Or maybe even in concert with the tag run, right? There's no one that says you couldn't
No,
have.
nothing saying you can't walk down the ring with 2 belts.
Right.
Sean and I had the tags. He had the IC and I had the world. All at the same time.
Right. The 1BG was listening last week, and they write, Becky and Seth being an arguing sitcom couple would be more funny and interesting than a cliche wrestling evil heel couple that always makes out. Becky can be funny, better than this tired heel stuff she's done, and Seth can look stupid while still being a serious heel threat. How are they doing with that? With the couple team? It can't go on much longer, right? I mean, we're
No, that's about played out.
yeah.
Becky needs to go off with AJ and then, I guess Punk would go after whoever goes over in Perth.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. Holiday Styles says, this is why I love this show. They talk about real-world issues and funny stuff, sarcasm, and national breakdowns. Delbert Prince concurred. He said, I love listening to Kevin Nash and Sean Oliver with their non-wrestling topics.
Oh, but they're going to hate this show.
Yeah.
We've talked nothing but wrestling.
And there's more to come. We didn't even touch WrestlePalooza yet, which I want to ask you about. Don't Follow has written in as well. He said, the lying that goes on with these two is why they don't understand that Kimmel telling a lie is what got him suspended. It wasn't about free speech. Amazing these two are more upset about Kimmel than an assassination attempt on a major public figure. Well, listen, nobody made light.
Number one, it wasn't an attempt.
No, it was done.
Yeah. And number two, Kimmel didn't lie. Kimmel said that they, as soon as they could, they tried to make this guy a left-wing nut job,
right?
The shooter,
of course.
What have you heard since then
to disprove?
Or
anything about him? Actually,
anything.
Yeah.
The picture, the mugshot doesn't match another picture of him. The gun is not a gun that you can break down. It's a stock and a barrel gun. It's not like there's so many, and then we have a 30-06 round that enters someone's neck that doesn't go through. There's so much, and they've already started reconstruction of the plaza where the assassination took place. They put grass, they put padding, they put cement. They've already they basically are changing the crime scene, and we don't even like.
Well, there's a monument I think is going to be going up or something, right? Some kind of
area. That's a good cover-up. Just like they're going to work on the fucking elevators in both the towers.
But Don't Follow. It's noted that I'm guessing who you voted for, and it's good to know that you're offended by people who lie on camera.
Yeah, because my God.
Yeah, you didn't look like an idiot sending that in.
Yeah.
Also, it should be pointed out, Trump called publicly for Kimmel's firing long before the Kirk assassination. So
yes,
this is not tied. This was not in any way tied to lying or anything he said about the unfortunate murder of someone who was peacefully debating. That was his platform, was debate. You can agree or disagree with his points of view, but violence was never part of it. So
no, political violence is bullshit.
Yeah. But But this Kimmel shit, this was back with what's his face, Colbert, and yeah. So this has nothing to do with Kirk. No, you're not that stupid. I know you're not that stupid. Your vote may have gone the wrong way. Don't follow, but I know you're not an idiot. I could tell by your grammar. You wrote that very well.
You know what? He knew you'd pick that out though. So he got
the rub. He got the rub.
Yeah.
But let me help him and anybody else maybe who, and we won't editorialize. I'm just going to read a list. This is Lawrence Britt's 14 Characteristics of Fascism, and has nothing to do with this administration. This was a study that was done in the past, studying and breaking down the fascist regimes of Hitler, Mussolini in Italy, Franco in Spain, Suharto in Indonesia, and Pinochet in Chile. They have 14 common characteristics. None of this will be familiar to anybody today, but I'll just give the headlines. I'm not going to break down. You can just Google this, Lawrence Britt, Britt, not to be confused with our 11 soft member Britt. Number one, here are the 14 characteristics of fascism. Number one, powerful and continuing nationalism, over the top patriotic slogans, etc. 2, disdain for the recognition of human rights. 3, identification of enemies and scapegoats as a unifying cause in your party. 4, supremacy of the military. 5, rampant sexism. 6, controlled mass media. Don't know why I'm mentioning that this week. 7, obsession with national security. 8, religion and government are intertwined. 9, protection of corporate power. 10, suppression of labor power. 11, disdain for intellectuals and the arts. 12, obsession with crime and punishment. 13, rampant cronyism and corruption. 14, fraudulent elections. Find me 3,000 votes.
Not to go off of point here, but on the way back from my procedure in my tennis shoes the other day, there were a couple of homeless people kind of causing a little bit of a traffic jam, and I just looked over at my wife and I said, I get it now. If we were able just to euthanize them,
they wouldn't be in the road.
Exactly. Then all of that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Kev, you're a good dude, and I know in passing those folks on the road, you rolled down your window and you offered them a little magic spoon because you knew that on the street, one's diet is going to be compromised. Okay, what are the odds that you're getting low sugar, high fiber, high protein?
They're not getting their carbs.
No, they're not getting the carbs, clearly. Yeah,
but they're definitely not getting their fiber.
So in Magic Spoon, this is all done for you. Breakfast cereal, flavors you may remember from your childhood, frosted stuff, cocoa stuff, fruity stuff. I can't say the patented ones, but you know what I'm talking about. And every serving of Magic Spoon cereal, high protein, 13 grams of it, for God's sakes, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, and those great flavors that I mentioned. Now they have the treats, too. Grab a bar, throw it in your bag, take it on the go. 12 grams of protein. They're crispy, crunchy, airy, and marshmallow. I'm fond of the marshmallow. Chocolate peanut butter is amazing, too.
Chocolate peanut butter is my favorite.
Yeah, dark chocolate, too. They're great on the go. So whether you do it in cereal form or you get those cereal bars, the crispy treats, Magic Spoon's got you covered, and you can do your breakfast or snack the right way. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/Kliq, Kliq, or just look for Magic Spoon on Amazon. They're in the grocery store too, but we're going to get your money off. If you go to magicspoon.com/Kliq, get your $5 off. Get your Magic Spoon.
I'm going to send care package to Stephanie Levesque,
who is going to be the first inductee in 2026.
We wanted to make sure that we congratulate Steph on being the first the first member of the class of 2026.
And wouldn't you know it, that seat next to her was open for Undertaker.
Well,
Amazing they sold all the front row seats, but goddamn it, that one seat, they could not move that one.
Taker's got that bad hip. He ain't fucking standing and doing the fucking spot. Okay?
Doing the promo?
Yeah.
If you want to be part of the live audience that's here with us, go to KliqThisTV.com. Sign up for the 11 Soft Club like our friends do. Here, you get the pre-show. You get the show early without commercials. You get to sit in with us, like Patrick Leonard, who says, out on the road tonight for my second job and about to pull a Nash because there's nowhere to pull over and piss. I can't believe no one sent us a photo of that. Or did someone post it? Was it a white building? The place in question that you brought up, that
the building, nobody, no, the person, he said it was a soap thing, and it's not. There's I think an anesthetician and two real estate brokers use that building.
oh, so it's an active.
Yeah, no, that's the reason you use it. It's well kept, but it's got it's the perfect piss stop.
Good. Maybe that could be a shirt, the perfect piss stop that you can get at the KliqThisShop.com.
I've already got one. I've got one of these in my car now.
Oh, the medical deal there, the hospital deal.
Yeah, I got one of those in my car.
Not a bad idea.
That won't happen again. Fool me once, throw a pair of shoes at me, whatever you need to do.
You get your heart worked on in a pair of shoes, in those pair of shoes today.
Take the shoes off, throw them at you if I was in fucking Iraq.
So Roger Jackson was arrested finally. This is 26 days the LAPD took for the investigation. And I want to confirm the charge. It is felony assault. I mean, this is the fact that a pro wrestling ring was involved in no way played into these. This is as if he walked in and pounded a store owner to oblivion. What could that carry, Kev? We're talking felony.
I think 7.
Good God, yeah.
Maybe 15. Maybe 15. Probably. I think they probably plead that to 3, serve 18.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to say I think this is necessary for wrestling because you are willingly giving your body, and in a regular match, I'm not even talking about if there's an outsider involved getting the ring, you're willingly giving your body, your livelihood, your health, your ability to function and wipe your own ass for the rest of your life. You're giving that to somebody standing across from you who you may or may not know well. On these indie federations, somebody might be coming in for a shot. You don't even know this person, and you're putting yourself in such a vulnerable position. I do think that something like this, a precedent needs to be set.
I saw a thing on Instagram the other day, and it was a wrestling match, and the guy was kind of walking away, and they had like cinder blocks in the ring. And this guy picked up a cinder block and threw it down into the back of this guy's head that was walking like kind of away from him. And I mean, the cinder block didn't disintegrate or anything like it was at work. It was a fucking cinder block, man. The guy went down like he got shot with a fucking like a rifle. I was just like, holy fuck. I sent it to Austin. I said, like,
yeah, I don't pop when I see a lot of this shit. And the funny thing is I was an ECW fan, but maybe in some way it was more controlled, or was there something more professional about it, or was I just younger? I cringe at some of the shit that pops up on my fucking feed.
No, if you look at it though, like the majority of the guys that were doing the crazy ass shit were Hall of Fame caliber wrestlers.
Right, Rob Van Dam, Dudley's, Sabu, yeah.
So they had I mean, and I think it was one of those things where they worked. Like they didn't work once a week for TVs. Like they worked.
Right.
You know, so I mean, there was those guys were putting in ring time, and they were doing Japan shots.
That's true.
So those guys, I mean, there was 3 companies at that time.
Right.
Yeah, there was 3 companies of guys that could work. Like Mike Awesome was a talented big guy. Like
Jesus, was
6'5".
he huge? Yeah, he was fucking scary big.
Yeah. Well, he was really huge on their show. Remember when 911 was chokeslamming everybody, and when you'd watch it on the Sunshine Network, I thought the guy was like 7 foot. I met him; he was like 6'4". I went, "Oh fuck."
Well, I mean, you put him with Little Guido or Mikey Whipwreck, yeah.
Yeah, or Taz, or
Taz. That happened in the locker room, as I recount in Todd has got. 911 kind of snatched Taz up one time in the locker room. I think he said, if you're feeling froggy, jump. And then he reached over and pulled Taz off the bench. Oh, those were the wild days.
Yeah.
Locker room confrontations where
I saw another indie clip. The guy does the Jesus Christ gimmick where he doesn't touch anybody.
Oh, yeah, he kind of just puts the hands up.
And he moves the guy over, and he makes that guy go up on the top rope and throws this guy down and makes the guy from the top rope. Yeah, I watched that. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, and imagine the pressure to live the gimmick outside the ring if you're one of those wrestling purists who wants to always be seen as your character, a la the Sheik or someone like that. You just got, you have to part water when you're at the community pool. You're in the diner. You got to turn the water.
Or you could
to
just
wine.
be a
It's
really
fucking...
caring human being,
right?
And that would set you closer to Jesus than 99.9% of the people that walk our planet right now.
The general population.
Yeah, show empathy and kindness. Wow, could you imagine?
You wouldn't be over. Be too hard to get over doing that today.
Nobody would believe it.
No.
They believe he was like he's too Christ-like. This is a work.
It's too real. Yeah, it's funny. When we would talk about angles this year in wrestling, and we would talk about the top of the card, and there were some times where a lot of people were hurt, and we were talking, you would consistently remind me and the viewers, Randy's still available.
I always say that. Wait, where's Randy?
And his wife just put out a tweet, and it got some traction in the business. I guess a fan had tweeted, listed all the events that Randy hasn't been on, and was kind of pointing out that he's been snubbed from any top of the card, any of the high profile stuff. And she's like, yeah, we feel the same way. So it got me thinking, do you think there's an unreported injury maybe, or some kind of limitation on his work medically?
What did Randy have? Was his a back problem, right?
Yeah. That was a while ago. But I guess you always have a back problem, right? Once it
starts,
but
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Damian Priest had like a broken bone. I don't know, somewhere. He's got like an injury that's just going to take some time to heal. So I mean, that's one thing. They do a pretty good job of, if somebody gets hurt, of just kind of putting them aside and putting somebody in their place.
Mm.
But it just seemed like for 4 weeks, the Netflix Raw show was like the same characters, and it was just like, you're like, geez, can you bring, Cody was gone. I was so happy to see Cody. I was like, thank God Cody's back.
Mm.
Because it does make a huge difference you watch a show and there's some 7s, there's some 8s, but there's no 9-10s on the card. And then like last night, you start with Seth and Cody, and you end it with Rhea. And what is her name? Asuka? Is that how you pronounce
You're talking
her
about
name?
the match with Rhea, yeah.
That's Asuka,
Asuka.
right? Asuka.
Asuka.
Her partner, Asuka's partner, was kind of doing like a little furry little dance. Did you see that gimmick she was doing?
Mm-hmm.
And she wouldn't strike. I was.
Ric Flair, I just want to I don't get off Randy for a second. Flair commented, as he usually does about anything, and he speculated that maybe he made someone mad. You hearing anything like that?
I'm not involved.
I know you're not, but you talk to people who are.
I really don't.
Have you Howard Hughes'd it that much? Like no one's on the phone?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not paying fucking $40 a month to watch wrestling on ESPN.
Well, goddamn it! If you watched WrestlePalooza, you did.
I didn't watch it.
The app is different. You know, not all the cable providers. My FiOS provider, it is in the bundle, so I get it. Kind of with my ESPN, I have the sports stuff all there, so it showed up.
I'm sure I do as much as I pay a fucking month. It's like everything else. Is like I just forgot that it was on, and now what sucks about it now is when it was on Peacock. If I missed it by a day, I could go back and watch it on Peacock on replay. Now I don't know if that's available for me to do on ESPN anywhere. Is there an ESPN online?
Well, there's an app, which is different. It's different than the channel. Steve, do you have what's on the app? Is it? I could watch it at any time. So what do I have here? Okay, so it is just like the Peacock app. So yeah, so you can.
Okay, so I can do that. So I'll search for it tonight and see if I can watch it.
Yeah. But what left me with questions? Now the open with the Cena Lesnar thing. Such a definitive point of view in that match. And when I was talking to you, you were like, you got to do that with people tuning in the first time.
Yeah, because you probably got 80% of your audience has never probably watched
other sports fans who have ESPN who tune in.
You want to grab them, so you definitely want to show that monster Brock, and then there's nobody with a higher Q rating on their roster now that Dwayne's not around, besides Cena. So.
But heading into his last, what are there, 5 matches left?
Yeah.
Now you got to do so. You can't leave it there, right? So of these 5 matches, you have Brock involved. The Perth show is going to be AJ Styles. We know that already. But then there's November 10th, MSG. There's a Raw at MSG on November 17th. Survivor Series, the November pay-per-view on the 19th, San Diego. And then December, maybe the Saturday night's main event, Washington, December 13th. So you got to go with the Lesnar thing here, right? He's going to finish. Is he going to finish his career with the Lesnar thing, or is Gunther coming back? How would you finish, John?
I would. He's got it's. David has to slay Goliath.
Well, which Goliath? We have a few Goliaths.
Well, there's no Goliath like Brock.
Brock's a Goliath. That's true.
I mean, he looks better now than he did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like more impressive.
With now Drew's lost to Cody, and then Cody on Monday night with Seth, and the big anticipation here is, are they done with Drew?
They keep putting Drew and I think Drew and LA Knight should have a fucking
A match, a run, a tag up, maybe.
I'll tell you, I have seen. I mean, it's not like we haven't watched LA Knight wrestle a lot in the last couple of weeks, and it's just like he's an athletic fucker. I'll give him credit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a commentary on his match. His match was actually very good this week. But
I thought the one with Uso, I thought that Jay looked like he lost a ton of weight. Like he was in much better shape. I thought that LA Knight wasn't as sharp body-wise, abs, everything else, which I'm wondering if the anti-push and the kind of dead-end run he's having right now is making it very difficult to not fucking eat as clean, and because that all that shit that gets in your mind, because man, it's a work, it ain't like you can just fucking go out there and
try harder.
Yeah,
try to win next week. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a psychological mind fuck, right? When you're on the downside for a while.
Oh fuck. And then you get to the point in your career where that's just where you're at.
Yeah,
you're just not a top guy anymore.
It's your function for the company, and then it would take a strong mental fortitude, I guess, or I mean, that's one way to look at it. But it's like somebody who's maybe a good character actor who gets a good scene in a film every couple of years. It's your job. You may have studied Shakespeare, but you might have had dreams and visions of your name above the title. But that's your job.
I was talking to England at a horror convention over in
Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, and he was. Yeah, he's a fucking huge stage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a very accredited stage actor.
Didn't you tell us he almost didn't take Freddy, or?
Yeah, he thought it was so far beneath him because he was he was in the business for the art.
He's directed too since Freddy.
But I mean, it's like anything else. It's you do something like that, and you take that gamble, and it becomes, you become synonymous with that over all the other work that you've done.
Did he know wrestling? Or he knew you from film?
No, we I get a lot of conversations just because we're on a Sprinter van from the hotel to the convention center, and I get on, and I'm a fucking 6'10" guy. It's just like.
Did he?
I think a lot of people probably just Google you.
Right. See who they're going to be with that weekend, and
yeah.
Did Freddie want to go to the other side of the menu at any point with you, or
no,
just you kept it professional?
No, I kept it professional.
And good for you. Those claws, those fucking hands. I think you could do something with that. Maybe I don't know what you're into.
After the fucking reduction I had, I couldn't take my chances.
Kev, how about a couple of Dear Sexy letters? People love to hear your advice to the lovelorn, the family strife.
I'll be more than happy to do that.
Oh, thank you.
I saw on one of the messages that somebody sent in, and they said that since I despise the Mount Rushmore so much, that you should come up like with like, Kevin, give me the Mount Rushmore of bands, or give me the Mount Rushmore. Like, I should have to do like Mount Rushmores.
I don't want to do anything that you don't like to do.
Yeah, but
So that would be a terrible idea
but
for me to try to get you up for that.
I thought about it. I thought like that could be because you know that like when somebody says the Mount Rushmore, it's usually the reason it sucks so bad is because there's so many choices, you know, like I right now, like when I think of the Mount Rushmore, like the actual Mount Rushmore, and I think that how fucking just backwards it was of that architect not to leave room for Trump.
Right. Well, if it
You
was done
know?
today, it clearly would.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things where it's just like
I'm surprised it hasn't been torn down yet because of that, or people are like not allowed to go. All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Ready? The Mount Rushmore
okay,
of presidents.
Mount Rushmore in my life.
Kevin Nash's Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmores. Go ahead.
George Washington,
Got to do it, right?
Kennedy, Barack Obama,
Got to have Obama.
and Reagan.
Okay, I'm going to ask you why Kennedy.
Because I thought that without Kennedy, Kennedy was the first. Kennedy wanted to get us out of Vietnam, wanted to dismember CIA. He was basically started the civil rights bill that got passed by Johnson, women voting bill, like everything that Johnson got credit for, Kennedy started. I think that he was, and he was banging Maryland.
Yeah, that alone, right?
That's huge.
Obama, people listen to us overseas, and I don't think the effect and the success of Barack Obama's 8 years has been accurately celebrated yet. I mean, maybe in time the history books will continue to laud it, but people have to remember that time we were coming out of 9/11. We're into wars. The auto industry was in collapse.
We came in the economic collapse.
The economic collapse. We lost the housing market. We lost the auto market. We lost the stock market, and the housing market. So anything that props up that's a tent pole for this country was decimated, and that's what he inherited. And in the first 4 years, he had turned the ship. And this country, I mean, this doesn't turn like a speedboat. This is a big fucking ocean liner to turn. And in 4 years, it was headed in the other direction. So you may agree with policies and liberal this, that, whatever. He took a totally collapsed country and took every market and put it back on track. Gave the bailouts that were paid back. Kept the American auto industry operating here. What was here stayed. I mean, it's just, I don't want to go on and make a commercial for the party.
I saw a thing the other day, and I don't know. He was speaking over in Europe, and I think he was because he got a Nobel Peace Prize, and he named the people that I think he named King. I think it was the Queen. And there was one other person that he named. Oh, Mandela.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he just, but the degree of articulation and his timing and his charisma, and it was just, man, he could have been the first black Bond so fucking easily. He was just such a cool motherfucker, man. Yeah. And here we have our first black president, and he goes absolutely scandalous. There's not a scandal, not anything.
Scandal-less, not scandalous.
Less.
Scandal-less, absolutely. Yeah.
No scandals during his 8 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like...
By today's standards, that would make him a boring president. He wasn't grabbing anybody by the pussy. I mean, goddamn. Someone with such decency. Dare
it's
you.
just, it made you proud, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an office. It was the one office on the planet that required the decorum and decency to be an example for the rest of the world. When that happened, we'll get back. I do believe we'll get back.
Yeah, when like the
there,
G8 stood there and he was up there, it was just like, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's our boy.
Yeah. Dear Sexy. So, a couple of letters, Kev.
Can I
You do anything you want. It's your fucking show.
did you hear about? So the president and Melania were going up the escalator at the UN building, and the escalator stopped.
No, I saw that.
And they had to walk up, and then the teleprompter when he got up there to speak didn't work. So, and he said he was going to look into it. Well, they looked into it, and the person from the White House that was filming the escalator, Melania and the president going up the escalator, touched his hand on this thing that goes between the two escalators that makes the fucking
It's an
escalator
emergency
stop.
trigger.
Yeah.
To,
So that idiot, the idiot with the camera did that, and the teleprompter was being run by somebody from the White House. So in other words, I guess there's 2 new job openings.
yes. Put your applications in if you're good with teleprompters.
And you can,
And you're a videographer who doesn't
you can
fuck
walk
things
backwards and not drag your hands like a fucking orangutan. So,
All right. Dear Sexy. 2 actual letters, by the way, sent to Dear Abby, if answered by Kevin Nash. I was shopping recently and encountered a mother who had her 2 young children in her cart. One of them was making a loud noise. The mother slapped her hard across the face, yelling, "You're not getting what you want, so be quiet." I felt I should say something, but I didn't want the situation to escalate. What would an appropriate response be that would show empathy, but would also convey that physical abuse is unacceptable? That's from Mother Looking On in Arizona.
well, since this is probably a 1953 question, I think my answer would be call 911 as you film this assault. Maybe back up with a defects call.
A defect. But time does matter, right? The decade may matter a little here, right? Because
Yeah, you can't do that now.
no,
If I saw somebody smack their kid in a store, I'd say, "How would you like me to come over and smack your fucking ass?" You don't put your hands on a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no way I wouldn't let a man put his hands on a woman in front of me. Like, fuck no.
Did you deserve a smack now and again when you were a young man?
Fuck yes.
Did you get it?
I told my mom said when we got older, and I think this is when she was sick and she was laying in bed and kind of reflecting on her life, and she said, and that's when at that point, like looking back, like taking the belt to your kid and shit was really frowned upon. And she said to me, she said, "Do you think I was abusive?" I said, "Mom," I said, "I don't ever remember getting hit and not deserving it. I remember getting away with a lot of shit and not getting hit." I said, "But I do know this for a fact, that your corporal punishment made me think before I did shit. Before I fucking decided to go in your purse and grab a cigarette to smoke on the way to school, I'm like, if she catches me, she's gonna beat the fuck out of me."
Right.
So, I think that
It is nice that you had that bonding moment with your mom before her
yeah,
passing.
but I mean, she just she used to make. She would make me stand on the bottom of the landing, and it was like 2 steps up to our little fucking 10 by 10 kitchen, and she would make me put my hands behind my back, and she'd fucking smack me in the face when I was like I ran my mouth or said, you know.
To put the hands behind the back is
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little like Indonesian.
Yeah, but it was one of those things though,
police
too, that,
interrogation.
and like she would fucking whack the shit out of me, and then fucking she'd hit me one on each side, and I'd say, "You feel good about yourself?" She'd always break a blood vessel in her hand.
That's when I could get my elbows when my mom was really spiraling. I could get my elbows up, and she'd fuck her hand up from swinging.
No, see,
That's when that shit.
I wanted to do it on my chin. I wanted to fucking use my face to fucking hurt herself, and then fucking I would go out, and she'd be like in the kitchen window. It was like, so if I was to turn and take 2 steps, there was a door right there that was on the side of the house and walked down the driveway, and I'd go out and I'd walk, and she'd be in the kitchen. I'd knock on the glass, and I was so tall that I could look right, like parallel to like right into the kitchen, like this much of me, you know. And she'd look at me, she'd go, "What?" I said, "Just want to tell you, Mom, I love you." And she would just look at me like, "Fuck you."
What a ball buster.
You know, just like I told her, "I love you."
Who was the bigger ball buster, you, Mark, or your sister?
Me. I was a bigger ball buster.
Still are.
Kim was sweet. Mark was a jackrabbit. Mark wasn't fucking taking. He wasn't taking no ass beatings.
He was
off. Fast. He's gone. You chase him around the fucking dining room table, fucking, you blow up before he ain't getting hit. By the time you did hit him, you were so tired. He wasn't taking no impact.
Your mom looked like Neidhart after 2
Yeah.
minutes in the ring. Yeah.
Mom's holding her fucking shorts like she's bent over trying to fucking cover Jordan.
Second letter, Dear Sexy. We loaned my sister $10,000 3 years ago, and she's only repaid a fraction of it. She had promised it would be paid back within 6 months. She has refused to take my calls on the holidays, and I haven't spoken to her in many months. We used to be very close, but now money has come between us. I'm feeling resentful, and I wish this hadn't happened. What would you do? That's from Too Generous in California.
Number one, never loan money to anybody in your family.
If you had a family member in a pinch.
Nope. You give them the money.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, that's true.
You give them the money.
If the person said, "Kev, I'm going to get you this back in a few months,"
I would say, you know what? That's great, but it's a gift.
Right.
I don't expect for you to pay me back.
Good point.
Then you just.
No, that's a very valid point. I didn't even think.
I mean, for me, if you gave the person money, and they said that they'd pay you back, and they're avoiding phone calls, and you're writing Dear Abby, I would be in my car driving to wherever the fuck that person lived, and I'd rifle through their fucking house and see what I could find that I could sell. I'm serious. If it's that kind of if it's fucking Goomba, if you're going fucking Sopranos, going straight Elizabeth, fucking New Jersey on them.
Yeah. This will be worth 1,000. There's 500. And by the way, honey, I'm taking these. All right. The high spot of the show. Here, Kliq this, the Kevin Nash podcast. He's Kevin. I'm Sean. Since it is the high spot of the show, you know we're talking about Get Blitzed. You know we're talking about our friends Mickey Ray Sinatra and Courtney, his betrothed. And you know we're either talking about Get Blitzed Lit Aid Sip and Syrup, where you become your own mixologist and take a teaspoon of the those 11 flavors you're seeing right there, and put it in a beverage of your choice. And it's a delivery of THC, but like on steroids, imagine it. Any beverage, soda, tea, fast onset, because that nano-infused in the title means that it goes right to your bloodstream, bypassing breakdown in the liver. Works kind of like alcohol, if you can think of it that way. So if you're in Maryland, you can give it a shot by going to a Stay Lit smoke shop. But for the rest of us, it's legal to ship those from the Get Blitzed website to almost all 50 states without a med card, as long as you're over 21. And don't forget the Get Blitzed Lit Aid mixers with Kevin and I on the can, representing the show with the Kev's Key Lime and Sean's Blue Raspberry. I hope everyone in the audience has at least tried these. And you know, these are the best tasting. If you've tried the THC beverages, you know sometimes they can be, flavor is an afterthought and taste is an afterthought. Not in these. We made sure these were banging. And you can get the Get Blitzed Kliq This Lit Aid mixers in cans on the website as well. And that website is get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com. And you're going to use the code KLIQ, K-O-I-Q. Save yourself 15%.
Keep your fingers crossed, and maybe we'll be in a
working on a deal. Getting
a
a
little
store near you.
Distribution.
A certain chain.
May only be in Florida, but it'll be huge.
Well, that'll get it rolling, at least,
right
here. And here are some questions. Ask Nash. You want to be part of it? Go to clickthistv.com, sign up, be part of the 11 Soft Club. Like, Britt, can someone educate me on what a buyback means? Oh, on the stock.
I saw a really interesting thing about how they actually manipulate the buyback to. So when you, it's like for tax purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole the whole buyback situation is like you show $1 million in profit, but then you buy back 200, then it's $800,000. And I mean, I watched this whole piece on, I think it was on YouTube, on the buyback, and that's one of the reasons why the Apple stock has dropped so much, is because Jobs never did buybacks. He never did stop buybacks, and this Casman is proficient at doing Apple buybacks.
Britt, think of it this way: like if it's the company buying back some of its own stock, so there's a scarcity in the market, and therefore it returns a little value. So, like, let's say you have a baseball card for somebody's rookie season, Don Mattingly's rookie season, but like Topps made 10,000 of them. Well, if Topps wants the value of that card to increase in your hands, they'll buy back maybe 5,000 of the existing Don Mattingly rookie cards. So there's only 5,000 in the market. Therefore, yours is worth a little more money. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's a pedestrian explanation, but best I could do. Next. Instagram, a wrestling historian, Mr. Nash. A lot of WCW fans were surprised that the War Games match didn't happen at the Fall Brawl 1999 pay-per-view after being an annual tradition. Why was it discontinued? Thanks in advance.
No, dude.
Yeah, Instagram. I got to teach you something about asking these intricate questions about pay-per-views 35 years ago.
Yeah, like fuck.
Kev knew where to go. It was on his itinerary. He used the Diners Club card to get the fucking Cadillac. He got everyone there, and he got in the ring and did his thing.
Yeah, one thing I watched the thing the other day on it was either on Instagram or something like that, and it was, I was in the ring, I was a babyface. They attacked Goldberg. It was the Giant Hogan, and I ended up. They hooked. I ended up kicking Goldberg, but like the old move I kick Goldberg thing, and then from the back came Piper, DDP, and the Ultimate Warrior. So that and Tony Schiavone was going crazy over this was Team WCW. So we were going into we definitely were going into the War Games with that storyline right there. I don't know if it didn't happen because Warrior fucked off. Because I'm sitting there watching this again, watching a clip I have no fucking recollection of. And it's just the fact that Roddy got down the ring as fast as he did with that fucking hip was amazing. Warrior threw some good punches. And I'm thinking, like, I don't remember fucking, like, Goldberg was saying, why'd you kick me at the end? And we went off the air, kind of, me and Bill were hot at each other. I remember none of it.
Right. Okay. Understandable. Who else in the house? Some of our members here. Ivan's True Family Stories. I hope you get to watch one battle after another in theaters this week. Just saw it. 10 out of 10. Incredible film. The hell is it even, Ivan? I don't know that I've heard of it. Actually, I know I haven't heard of it.
I'm still trying to recover from Weapons.
Right. Still hurts? Where's Wes?
Yeah, where's Wes? He must have known I watched Weapons.
I was going to say, he hasn't been here since you were going to give your review.
He was trying to make a rebound with me on that Trapped movie.
Steve wants to do a segment, a game show called Kevin Nash, This Is Your Career. And we play a match that you have no recollection of.
God, that's...
Be all of them. Next, who's here? Keep sending them at me.
It's funny, though. You showed me a picture of Scott and I drunk, sitting at ringside.
Everything about the night.
Sitting at ringside, doing something. Yeah, I remembered everything.
Where you went afterwards.
Fuck, yeah.
It's only that wrestling shit you
fuck
didn't really pay much attention to. All right, get Ace Ramon. I showed someone your rant from episode 166 about having an immigration standard and getting rid of those from both sides not producing results, and they said you're xenophobic. Any thoughts? Well, xenophobia wouldn't be saying get rid of anyone who's not a productive member of society and not bilking the system. I think xenophobia is am I right? Let's Google it. Is just everyone. Right? Let's see.
I think that's a pretty broad fucking brush.
Yeah, that's just broad. It's just like a prejudice against people of other countries. So I think based on what you said there, admittedly, Kevin was talking about coming here not to sponge off the system or not exile from a tyrannical dictator somewhere else. This wouldn't be the place to come, by the way, if you're running from a tyrannical dictator. But
no, my whole thing is I think my point is we're so worried about, number one, like we'll send $5 billion to Israel for weapons and everything else. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but we didn't do anything to feed. I saw a really crazy thing on social media, and it was dated 2040, and it was Berlin, and they kind of came in like on a drone, and they showed this memorial in the middle of Berlin, and it was the newly created Palestinian genocide memorial in Germany. and it was pretty haunting to show, like, you know, they showed, you know, different statues and things like that. And I just said to myself, you know, it's just, I saw the president the other day saying how that nobody's getting into our country. And then I watched clips of people like that are just pouring in through holes in the fence. You know, and you don't know when they're taken and when they're not taken, but it's just like I can't believe. I think we have to take care of our country, like right now. Like, we're on life support. If you're on life support, you really don't, like, hey, I understand that guy's in ICU, but you think we could get like a liter of blood from him? Like, I just don't think we're at that point yet. I think we're in trouble. I mean, nobody's talked about the fact that last year the American soybean farmers sold between 12 and 14 billion dollars of soybeans to China. We've exported $0 of soybeans to China this year, along with stock corn, and I mean,
If they can get it elsewhere, why are they going to fuck with
right
with our tariff? Yeah.
And I think I went over the Ford Motor Company second quarter, where the tariffs cost them $800 million in tariffs, which put Ford for the quarter $37.5 million in the red, where they would have been $770 million in the black. I don't know how long you can function. They just the Trump Team Trump just basically told U.S. Steel that they were going to shut down a plant somewhere, and they said, no, you're not. You're not going to shut down a plant. You know, like we've gold started. Like, it's just, I don't know. But you know, it's like when people say that people have, oh, dude, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. No, I don't have it because I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. It's the motherfucker that's drinking the Kool-Aid that's got that's deranged. When the wife of the man that's fucking assassinated forgives the killer, and you come behind her and say, "Well, I don't forgive any of my foes," and then the cover up the next day is, "Oh, that was satire. That was humor. He was being humorous." Really? At a memorial? That's like when Kimmel was wrong in doing a piece that led to basically the fourth stage of grieving is construction. That's where that went, and that was enough to get him thrown off the air. But for her to forgive the shooter of her husband, and then Trump to follow, say, fuck everybody, my enemies are my enemies, and I have Trump, I've got some kind of disorder. No, man, I'm just a human being. I do have empathy. I have empathy for him. I worry about his health. I don't want something to happen to that man. I don't wish him any ill will. I don't wish anybody ill will. I'm not that person. There's enough shit in this world that's going to come your way while you're getting shocked with your tennis shoes on, then what we have, you don't have to manufacture the shit. It's just there.
Very good. Edgar Watson, when does a receipt really become an assault? Obviously, the incident really crosses the line, but where does that line get crossed? Referencing the Roger Jackson.
Receipts one-on-one. You don't throw 3 punches in a receipt. It's one shot.
Right.
Because when you're talented as a worker and you know what the fuck you're doing out there, when you get a fucking shot, you're like, motherfucker, because you don't get them.
Right.
You don't get them for months at a time.
Yeah.
And when you get one, you usually fucking, I always did the no sell. The harder you hit me, the more it hurt, the more I no sold it, because I wanted you to come in the back and say to yourself, motherfucker, I just hit Nash and fucking hurt my hand, and that motherfucker didn't even say a word.
Right.
That was always my psychology.
One more, Steve. Hey, Britt. Hey, Uncle Kev, do you think Bret Hart is misunderstood? He's very blunt, but he's hardly wrong not to mention having a stroke changes people mentally and emotionally. He stands firm on not liking Triple H.
You know, Paul and Sean were both in on that screw job if it wasn't a work, and that would be very see. People weren't there then. Bret was our guy. Like when Hogan left, man, Bret was he was the guy that kind of carried the company until Vince could kind of put the pieces in place. But, you know, like Bret was super over, and he was he was a good champion. He would sign out. We'd get on. We'd be drunk before the bus left at the building in Europe, because he'd go out there and sign every fucking fan's, program, and he was a good champion. So, Bret's always going to be misunderstood because Bret took it as a business, but he also loved it. It was his family's. It was a passion in his family. Like he comes from a different,
Different angle, because he
almost like a 180 from where I came from.
Right.
I didn't appreciate the business until I got in the business. Then I realized, holy fuck. Doing this and making it look like you kill somebody and not touching them is an art form. And Bret would snug you at times, but Bret would never hurt you. Bret would never fucking hurt you.
No one would dispute Bret was an amazing worker as a wrestler.
And he was great. He was great when he was fucking 18 years old in fucking Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
You watch his early matches. He was a natural. He was great. He was and he could have had another 5 years had he not gotten injured.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think more than anything for Bret, I think that Bret didn't get a chance to fucking leave something he loved on his fucking, on his wishes. Everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, he didn't get to say, I've had enough, and this is how I'm going to go out. He didn't get his farewell tour.
Mm-hmm.
He just got fucking kicked in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Bill did it with malice. Bill kicked a lot of us. I was just lucky enough to be 7 feet tall, and fucking by the time that fucking foot reached me, I could fucking, it was, the impact wasn't, but there was you watch that War Games and he kicks me along those ropes. I come in and he puts a thrust kick right in the side of my head. That ain't no fucking work. The way I go down, you can tell I got fucking rocked. But
with Bret's background, like you mentioned, and him having been the son of Stu and understanding the business from, it was a family business, it always baffled me that he couldn't understand that when your promoter says, you can go, I need my belt back, that you don't say no. Never got that.
he just didn't want to drop it in fucking Canada.
Yeah, well, the problem is that was Sunday night, and Monday he could have been on WCW with it. So tonight's got to be the night, Bret. Sorry you don't want to do it.
But there's also, I mean, you're going to tell me that you couldn't fucking put a non-disclosure clause together, that if he fucking doesn't drop it at the next shot that's in the States, that he agrees to a $2 million fine?
Yeah,
You're gonna carry the belt to the other fucking territory then?
you know, all the years I've talked about this, nobody ever brought that up. That's very
No,
good
because
point.
fucking, God forbid if you treat the business like a business.
Like a business. I'm going to do some business now and tell everyone that Kliq. This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast T, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, no relation, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, you want to do another one?
Only if I can leave my tennis shoes on.
Customer service never